Happy Saturday. Hey, checking in. Got a very special episode tonight. I want to talk about the guys. This is an episode for the guys. So, and for all of you who have guys in your life, this will be the one that you'll want to replay for them so they can, so you can kind of get them on board. You know, a lot of us don't want to admit that we need the help or admit that we need it. So I figured I'd devote a whole episode here to how to get your guy on board, or if you're a guy, how to get on board, how to kind of own it and get on track there. So spend a couple seconds here, a couple minutes ahead of time getting ready. So, hey Katie, how are you? Water time. But so anyway, just kind of hanging out on a Saturday night. Glenda says hello. Hi Glenda, how are you? Happy Saturday evening. Hope it was all good. So Katie's heading out for a walk. Whoop whoop. Cool. Get this plugged in. So yeah, I got a couple emails in my inbox today that had the show all ready, getting the show ready to go. And a couple emails, Teresa, hi, how are you? A couple emails popped into my inbox, and it made me kind of want to address this topic tonight. So, as you know, I'll do a Facebook Live, which I'm doing obviously right now. Get done that, I'll go to the podcast. But this episode is going to be, this is going to be for the guys, really. So, Martin, good timing, how are you? Weigh in tomorrow. Samantha says hello. Hi, Samantha, or she says hi, or if you want to be technical. So what do you got before we go live, or not live? Before we get the podcast going, what do you got on the guy side of the house? Right, the Weight Watcher Bros, as the term is coined. What advice do you have for them? I'll kind of work that in, but that's kind of be the kind of topic. I think it's important. You know, I mean, I know my mindset before I joined a couple times. It's not fun. You know, it's stereotypical, right? It's stereotypically a Weight Watchers is predominantly for women, and we know that's not true. But some of us guys, we have that in our head that that's the case, and so I kind of want to talk about that for a little bit. So I'll kind of hang out for today, get the mics ready, get the mic testing one. Oops. Test, there we go. So we'll get the mic fired up. We're good there. Get the computer ready to go. Get that channel muted. Let's see. So did you guys have a good Saturday so far? My Saturday was pretty good. I started off with a good 2-mile run and then dance class. So note to self, don't do dance class right after you run. Wasn't exactly the best, but it was fun. It was good. So, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and dive in. Not a whole lot of activity going, but you guys are all tuned in, sitting there waiting with bated breath, it sounds like. So we'll go ahead and get this part done, and we'll get the podcast out and go from there. And then, as always, I'll record the podcast. I will. You'll recognize the podcast will be over. I will stop the recording of the podcast, and I'll come back to Facebook. So as we're going through the show, if you have any questions about what's going on, let me know. I'll come back after the show. I can't read the comments as I'm recording. That makes it too difficult. But when I'm done, I scroll back to the beginning and figure out what's going on. So if you got something, let's hit it when you get done, and we're ready to rock. You guys ready to rock? I'm ready to rock. Let's get her done. Get her done is kind of a Larry the Cable Guy term, right? So I hung out with Larry the Cable Guy over the weekend, so apparently now get her done is in my brain. So Larry the Cable Guy, if you're watching, thanks for getting me hooked on Get Her Done. So, all right, we're rolling. Almost. Test 1, 2. Good. I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Twitter and Instagram at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello, welcome to episode 58 of Wise Advice. And I want to spend a good part of this episode talking to the guys. So, ladies, if you're out there listening, go ahead and continue to plug your ears for a little bit. But I really want to hit the thing that a lot of us guys don't understand. So, of course, you're welcome to listen in. I'm being silly there, but if you got a guy in your life that you can't get him on board, that's kind of one of the number one emails I get is how do I get my husband on board? How do I get my boyfriend on board? How do I get my brother on board? I see that in my inbox a lot, and I don't really have a good answer. And not only do I not have a good answer, I don't have a good answer for getting anybody on board because, as you know, you can't force someone to do this. You can't just say, hey, you know what, you need to lose weight, let's go do it. And the person goes, oh, you're right, I had no idea. So how do you get anybody on board is difficult. How you get them on board is they have to want to get on board on their own. And all you can do is be a good role model some good behavior, model some healthy choices, and people will start noticing. And as people notice, they'll see that you're living a healthy lifestyle. They'll see that you're happy, and they'll start asking questions. And that's how you open up. But you have to let them approach you in a lot of ways. It doesn't work the other way around. It's funny, I was at a party last night and, sitting there just sipping my water. That's all I was doing. And someone came up to me, and the person's in great shape, but they said, hey, can you teach me how to be fit? And I just kind of chuckled because I've never heard that in my entire life, right? So that was kind of a point where I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I guess I'm doing something right. But at that point, when that person's asking me that question, they're ready to hear. So no matter what I say at that point, I have to be cautious with what I say, but whatever I say at that point, their mind is now ready to hear it. So anyway, so here we go, guys. Guys, what's going on, right? If you're a guy and you're overweight, we got to now remember that that's not healthy. So we're not doing ourselves any favors. We're doing a complete injustice to the entire male society by continuing to carry, overweight. Now, so hey, I know where you've been. I've been there for 20 years. So don't feel like I'm judging you because I lived it for 20 years. I'm telling you what the other side looks like now that I'm here, and I want you to join me over here. So, as we know, I'm going to obviously plug WeightWatchers. That's exactly how I lost all my weight every single time I did it. And this time in particular is how I'm able to maintain it. But WeightWatchers is an incredibly supportive community, and it doesn't have any gender rules. Guys and girls are equally welcome in the meeting room. And you're going to find for sure, when you walk into the meeting room, guys, that you're predominantly, the room is going to be mostly women in the room. These women are incredibly supportive. These women love us. These women want us to be healthy because they are our moms, our sisters, our wives, and they see us, they see their spouse or their brother through our eyes, and they look up to us in a sense where they go, I wish I could get my husband on board. I wish I could get my brother on board, like I talked about earlier. So, but as guys, I'm going to jump into the stereotypes for a little bit. Us guys, we think, no, we're too tough. Right? I don't need any help. I got this. And I'm supposed to be big and strong and I'm supposed to be the provider, and asking for help is a sign of weakness. Well, I tell you, nothing could be more false. If you're a guy and you're struggling with your weight, which, I haven't met too many guys who are overweight who are completely happy about it, but they're just not willing to admit that they want to make a change. And not only are they not willing to admit it, they don't know how to make the change. And a lot of times we're too embarrassed to go into the program that we know works. So Your role as a guy, if you want to stay in the stereotypes, if you want to live in that world where the stereotypes exist, your role is to be a good role model, be a good husband for your wife, be a good role model for your kids, for your neighbors. And you're the provider, if that's what you want to say. If your job is to provide, if your mind says I'm the provider, I'm that guy, then why would you not want to be the best you can be? Why would you not want to be as in best shape that you can be, so you can be around for as long as possible? Now, I tell you, when I first went into WeightWatchers years ago, the very first time I walked in, it was intimidating. I didn't care because I was focused on me and I wanted to make sure I was healthy for a long time. You're going to find now that when you walk into a WeightWatchers meeting and you go down Connect, there's a long list of men who've been successful in this program. The program absolutely works. It doesn't know a gender. It knows healthy living, and if you do that, you'll have success. So, one of my favorite stories as a leader now is I had a meeting 3-4 weeks ago. The first 5 people through the door were men. So that was the point where as a turning point, I'm like, yes, we're making a difference. So ladies, if you got a guy out there, give him, this is the episode you want to give him. I got 3 emails I want to touch on in a second that are all written in from guys, from a guy's perspective. And it just kind of tells a story that we probably don't often hear. So very proud of these guys for writing in and sharing their story, because that's how we educate folks, by telling our story. And that's why I tell my story, so that other people can go, oh yeah, if he can do it, I can do it. So that's kind of the intent there. And so, before we dive in there, if you haven't already, obviously the Apple Store has the app, the Android Store has the app. That's the easiest way to hear the podcast, is download the app. Otherwise, we're all over the place. We're in iTunes, we're in Google Play, Stitcher, everywhere else. But the app is absolutely the number one way to go ahead and hear the show. The app's completely free, no charges, no upcharges. It's just, I just want you to be able to hear the show because I want to make a difference here. So I'll open up with this email from Chris. This is fantastic, Chris. So Chris says, hello, Mike. Perhaps you remember me. We met for 2 weeks. You were my leader in Franklin for my first 2 meetings. I spoke with you about my concerns of being over 40 versus weight loss. You told me your story, and I learned we are the same age. My start was kind of difficult because I did not know my start weight. The scales only went up to 440, and the other scale was not working, so I figured I was about 450. Boy, was I wrong. I found out due to a scale at work, I work in logistics, that I was 500 pounds. Oh my God, I was freaking a quarter ton. I was devastated, but only for a moment. I knew I was in the right place, and this program and community would help me. I was also ashamed to tell people that I had joined WeightWatchers, but that was a mistake. When a few coworkers found out, they encouraged me and wanted to know more. My close friends and family have been supportive as well. Another great testimony of how my journey is that my mother-in-law told me how proud she is of me and was also fascinated on how I love the program. The WeightWatchers app, the food choices are all becoming a lifestyle. So here's where I'm at so far. I've lost over 55 pounds since our initial meeting on April 22nd, and today I received my 50-pound charm as well as my 10% loss charm. I realize now I can do this. And there are so many tools. The weekly meetings, the app, Connect, the podcast, newsletters, my family, my friends. There is no reason that this can't be done. So thank you, and I just want you to know what a profound impact you made on me in just a short period of time. I think we were meant to meet, to stop my excuses and my procrastination. Finally, my why is my beautiful 8-year-old daughter. God bless Chris. So, Chris, I do remember. So those were my last 2 weeks. I was subbing for a leader and down at that meeting for a little while. It was a Saturday morning meeting. I remember you walking in, and I felt terrible because you were wearing a Yankees hat. And when you were wearing the New York Yankees hat, I thought, oh man, this guy's in trouble. So I was able to get past that for real. And being a Red Sox fan, I knew that I could help you. And so I'll get you a Red Sox hat, and we'll take care of things in that world first, because I think that's pretty important. But all kidding aside, Chris, no, I do remember. I remember when you walked in, and yeah, you're right. We had troubles with the scales, and that frustrated me more than it frustrated you, I bet, because I wanted to help, and I was so proud of you for walking in, and more than that, I was proud of how you handled the challenges that we had that day, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm very proud of the fact that you stayed determined. And when I saw you come back the second week, I knew we were going to get there. And so you're right. And so that your third week, I was gone. I was back, and I was no longer a sub. Your regular meeting leader had come back to your room. But I'm so proud to read your email right now, because I knew you could do it. When we sat down, I could feel the energy that you were giving off, and I knew you were, if you hadn't yet, I knew you were very close to hitting rock bottom, and that's what it takes sometimes for us. It takes us going, you know what, I'm ready. And when you truly set up your mind to win, that's when the magic happens. We can't do this because someone tells us to. We can't do this because, it seems like a good idea. We have to truly want to do it, and I could tell that that's where you were. So very, very proud of you. Over 40 weight loss is the same as under 40 weight loss. It really is the same principle. I know we hear a lot of times that, the older we get, the harder it is to lose weight. And, I don't know that to be entirely true, and I haven't studied it, so don't beat me up on whether it's true or not true. But sure, there may be a facet of truth to it. But the reality is if you want to get healthy and take care of yourself, it doesn't matter what age you are when you start to do that. So the fact that, we had that in common was totally cool. Just like you, when I first joined WeightWatchers, I was absolutely ashamed to admit it, because I didn't want to have people to look at me and go, oh my God, he needs help. And I sensed that from you as well, but you came in with no agenda, and you said, I do need the help. And, that conversation we had that day, I'll remember it for a long time. Because I could sense from you again that you were ready to win. So the fact that you've made your mother-in-law proud, that alone has to tell you you're on the right track. Shout out to the mother-in-laws out there, but for your mother-in-law to give you a compliment, you're doing something right at that point. So very, very cool there. Now, hey, here we are, 55 pounds down. You hit your 10%. One of the things that I don't know if you've heard me talk about this before, but Chris, if you've hit your 10%, we don't give you a new set of tools at this point. You've hit your 10%. 10% means we've given you the tools, we've given you the tracker, we've given you the app, we've given you everything you need to do to be successful, and you've worked them. You've proven that you know how the tools work. You've proven you can get through multiple weekends at this point, continuing to lose weight, and you've lost 10% of your starting weight. So now when you hit 10%, we give you a charm that says 10%. That's all we give you. We don't give you a new set of tools. We don't give you a new plan. So if you've hit 10%, you can hit goal. The mindset between hitting 10% and hitting goal is completely the same. You've got to stay in the game. You've got to stay focused. You've got to stay focused on your beautiful 8-year-old daughter, because she needs you, man. Really, she needs you in her life. And so when you continue to work this journey, when you're down another 50 pounds, when you're down into the 200s, and you're coming up on your goal weight, she's gonna notice a change in you. You're gonna be there for you. I'm sure you're a fantastic dad. I get all that, but it's going to be different. She will look at you differently when you're healthy and when you're walking around and you're able to participate in life with her. It's totally different. And you're clearly on the track to getting that done. And that's why, my show tonight, I had an entire different show planned. And so your email came in, let me look here. It came in at, I got it in my inbox around 10:34 is when I got it. And so here we are, an hour later, it stopped me in my tracks. And I said, I need to talk about this tonight. So Chris, thanks for your email. Dude, I'm super, super duper proud of you. So at some point I'll get back down to all the Franklin peeps who are listening. At some point I'll get back down into that meeting just to pop in on a Saturday, because I really enjoyed working with you for those few weeks that we had together. It was very, very cool. So keep up the great work, and I'll pop in on occasion. Chris, thank you very much. Good job. Jeff writes in. Jeff says, Jeff says, hi, I achieved my 5% weight loss. I started my journey in March. I'm feeling really good. I appreciate all the confidence and the support. I don't know what goal is, but I figure I'll know it when I hit it. I started at about 279 pounds, and I'm thinking goal is around 180. But first step is to crush 250, then 240, then 230, 1 point, 1 meal, 1 day at a time. This time is different for me because I have made practicing a healthy lifestyle a value. I've always strived to be the best person I can be at school, at work, as a father, a partner, and a friend. But taking care of me often came second, as it has for many of us on WeightWatchers. Today, practicing a healthy life is how I am the best me that I can be. And WeightWatchers provides the means, the structure to do it, and thus to live my values. I think what is different is that I've made working the plan part of my ethical framework of my life. Wishing you and us all good focus, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, dude, great work there. You are absolutely right in exactly what you said. And same thing I just told Chris. If you hit 5%, you can hit goal. If you hit 5%, you're working the plan. You have all the tools you need. You've proven you know how to work the plan. We've given you the blueprint. We've given you the map, and you started building. And you've got this great framework. And what I really love about your email is yes, we say we started at 279. We know 180 is a goal of sorts, but we don't know what 80 looks like. We don't know what 180 looks like or feels like. So you're focused on 250. When we get to 250, we'll look on 240. When we get to 240, we'll go to 230. And that's how you make goal. So you make goal by focusing on living a healthy lifestyle, making it a value, like you said, making it part of your ethical framework, as you said. And your mission now is just to be healthy. And so if you start eating healthily, the weight just starts coming off. You track what you eat, you stay on plan, you get some activity points, and everything falls into place. So, Jeff, another great guy working the program, doing fantastic work. Proud of you as well, my brother, for hopping in and saying that, you need to do this. You need to do it to be a good father, to be a good partner, to be a good friend at work and at school. And everything you said is extremely true. So, Jeffrey, thank you. Great job. Real proud of you. Next up, Alex writes in, says, FatDag, I wanted to let you know that my wife and I have been following your posts on WeightWatchers, although I am not on the program, but my wife is. I must say you are a definite leader as an NCO and have been an inspiration as an NCO to your fellow airmen. I tried to read your fruit salad on your chest, but the picture only showed so much, but very impressive. My question is, shouldn't there be a single silver oak leaf cluster on your Outstanding Unit Award? I see that you have 4 bronze oak leaf clusters. I'm a former Civil Air Patrol member and a military historian / collector, and I want to say I've been overweight in Civil Air Patrol, but got over it without using WeightWatchers. I enjoyed reading your site, and I know that it can and will be done. My wife has done very well in the program, and we follow you on Connect. I wish you very much success in all you do, Alex. Alex, you're a great example, man. And so first off, the fact that you and your wife are doing the program together is commendable. I think couples who do this together, I have a handful of couples in my meetings. The couples who do it together have tremendous success. Man, it's incredible to watch the difference between a husband and wife team who are doing it together because they are supporting each other back and forth. And I saw in one of my meetings the other night, where a wife, she hit a 10% goal, and the first thing he did is he reached over and tapped her on the knee, and you could just see the pride in that. And it works both ways, so absolutely it works both ways. And so the fact that you're sitting here being in a supportive role is truly commendable, because that's what we got to do. We got to be supportive for each other, and I'm glad to see you do that. Now, as far as you're able to get the weight off without WeightWatchers, hey, listen, I'm not that guy. However, you're gonna figure out how to get it done. Because what I'm focused on is that you living a healthy lifestyle. The only program I know to teach you the ropes in is WeightWatchers, because that's the only one that I've been able to have success on for me. But if you found another way and you're able to get it done, then I'm proud of you. So what I want you to do is I want you to keep working the program. I want you to keep being supportive, but I want you to know exactly where you are every step of the way. And if you're not getting the results you want, then I want you to consider trying something different, because the results that you want are extremely valuable. And when you get there, there's nothing like it. So continue following the program, doing what you're doing. Thank you for all your service too in the Civil Air Patrol. And in addressing for those who aren't military, fruit salad is a list of ribbons that I wear on my chest. And so just a regular airman doing my regular job, battling weight issues, trying to stay alive. So thank you for your recognition on that. It's an honor to be here with you. It's an honor to serve my country. Nothing makes me more happier. And I'm so glad I had the opportunity to continue doing it because I took control of my life. And as a guy, I said, you know what? I don't need to live like this. I don't need to live in this shame. I don't need to live in this embarrassment. I need to take control. I need to get this done, and I need to live a healthy lifestyle. And so I'm able to do that because I finally figured out my why. I finally figured out that the reason that all of this works for me is that I enjoy being healthy. I enjoy now giving back is a new version of my why. Because what I want to understand is I didn't know what hitting gold was. I had no idea that what 180 pounds would look like on me. I haven't been 180 pounds for as long as I remember. And I had no idea what that would look like. So my goal was to try and get under 200. And so when I got there, my leader kept going, say, keep going, keep going, keep going. I couldn't be more happy right now with how I look and how I feel. And how I feel is fantastic. And I want you to feel that as well. Everybody listening, you have the ability to get there. There's no magic to this. It's simple tracking what you eat, getting some sort of exercise. All of that is driven because if you know why you're doing it, you'll get it done. So tap into your why. If you don't know what your why is, continue to search for it. Figure out what caused you to walk into a WeightWatchers meeting. What caused you to open the app? What caused you to open this app and listen to this episode? Something drove you to do that. Write it down, read it, stay engaged, and you too will hop on that scale one time and you'll say, I do not want to lose another pound. That's when you hit goal. Doesn't matter what the scale says. Doesn't matter what your clothing size says. What matters is that you recognize that you're the healthiest you can be. You're in the best shape of your life. You're in the best shape that you can be in currently, and you're loving it. That is goal. So, thanks for hanging out here. That's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight, getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goals and go after it. I wish you good focus. All right, cool. It is, all right, going all the way back up to the top. To the top, to the top. Sorry, dancing. Dance class today got me kind of energized. I enjoyed dance class. So let's see where we're at here. So I got Martin and Jeff. Jeff's here. How are you, Jeff? Jay, you are right. It's a program for all, 100%. Jeff says track to the best of your ability and don't give up. Don't do yoga. Yeah, so Jay did yoga after a 7-mile run. I did dance classes after a 2-mile run. Someone asked me today about my 2-mile run because, if you were following along for a little bit, you used to know I used to run a good 7, 8, 9 miles or so. And I've I've gone down to much shorter runs, but I'm working on building up the speed. So what I'm trying to do is get to a 6.5, 7 minute pace, and then I'll go add distance to that pace is what my goal is. So just kind of adding that in. Crystal says hello. Yeah, Jeff, WeightWatchers changed your life, right? Completely. Me too. Dude, it's funny. I don't even know. I can't even put it into words, right? Man, I can't even describe the difference of being at goal and being in control of food and a complete game changer. At some point, it puts me to tears, honestly, when I think about it, because it's just we were at dance today, and dance for me is the coolest thing ever. I kind of equated it. I told my wife today. I said it's kind of like a WeightWatchers meeting because it's for 30 minutes a day. There's no cell phone. There's no interruptions. It's just you and I hanging out, focusing on what matters. And so WeightWatchers meetings do that for me too. So it's 30 minutes of sitting in a meeting, focusing on what matters. So very, very cool. Jennifer, hello. I'm glad you found it as well. D. Skinner says hello. Margaret, hello. Let's see. Phil says focus on small goals, 1 to 2 pounds a week, down 36.2. So you've inspired coworkers and they walk with you online. So that's what it's all about, folks. Man, I can't tell you. You have no idea from a standpoint of the motivation that I get when I get these emails of people saying, "Hey, how did you do it?" And the cool thing is there's no magic secret. I can just say when someone says, "How did I do it?" I say WeightWatchers, and that's as much as I know. And then I'll work with you as to make you stay with the program because that's what I want you to do. But when other people start noticing, it's fun. And then when they start joining because of your success, even cooler, and it should trip you up and, sorry, not trip you up, it should fuel you up and pick you up and get you going. So very cool. And then Margaret says, yes, she loves dancing. How can you not love dancing? It's so much fun. So much fun. So cool. Well, that's the bottom of your comments. So I'll hang out for another minute or two in case you got something else that pops in. But I'm really hoping that that this episode, as I kind of played in my head already, trying to listen back to what I said, maybe I need to go a little stronger because I think more guys need to be here. But I also know that I don't want to focus there. This is open to everybody, and everybody has the same ability to get there. I think, I said it in a Connect post a long time ago, is you got to be the change you want to see in the world. And so that's the number one reason that I end up continue being a WeightWatchers leader as a guy is I want some guy out there to scroll through the list of meeting times and locations and see a guy's name, and that's the only reason he's committed to going, is because he sees a guy named Mike and he goes, okay, I'll go. And I hope once he's in the program, then he finds what he needs to be successful. So that is cool. And then of course, as you know, when you get in Connect, there's plenty of guys on the program. So this has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with your willpower and your wanting to get it done. So very, very, very cool. So again, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go get the podcast out, get that ready so you'll have an episode for Sunday morning for those who are, probably already sleeping. But have a great night. I wish you all the focus in the world. You have the ability to get this done. When you step on the scale and you've reached your goal weight, I know you're going to get there, but when you get to your goal weight, you're going to be happy. So cool. Hey, real quick, Crystal pops in. What are the podcast times? So Crystal, so I do this Facebook Live randomly. There's no set time. When all of a sudden when my phone has enough charge and I'm getting ready to record a podcast, it's ready. But Crystal, if you go to the App Store for Apple or Google and search for Wise Advice, WHYS Advice, you can pull up an app, and this is episode 58. So there's 58 other episodes out there. You can play them from 1 to 58. You can bounce around. 54 is probably my favorite at this point. So if you want to do episode 54, go ahead and click on that. But if you get the app from the App Store, you can listen on demand. Basically, whenever you want to pull up an episode, you can go ahead and listen to it, and you can get that done. But all good stuff. So again, that's going to do it. But I just wanted to reach out and say thank you for all that you've done for me, and we'll see you next time. Take care.